Hey guys, Solomon here. Hope you're having a great day. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you a chest opening trick, specifically coming out of the hippo defense that a lot of people don't know about, but that can help you win games very quickly and just get a huge edge, right? Winning material and getting an advantage because of it. I played this game against a 2,000 plus rated player recently in a tournament. Here, my guy, James Gartland, started this thing off with d4, and I played, g6, bishop g7, and d6. This is usually how I start off every single game, 1, 2, and 3. From this point in the hippo, right, we're just tucking our knights in the center. Here, he played the move bishop g5 and then bishop e3. This actually helps me. It's not like this pawn on h6 is a bigger target or something. We were going to play h6 anyway, so I actually just get tempo because of this. If white plays bishop e3, I'm going to play h6 at some point anyway. So, playing bishop g5 and then dropping this bishop back isn't the best idea. But we see, I've gone over a lot of professional level games, right? People with norms. And you see this kind of stuff all the time, right? Which really shows that a lot of people don't exactly know what the hippo is all about. But okay, here we have the move of b6. I fianchetto my bishop, play knight d7, and here I strike with the move of f5. When I see a pawn chain from e4 to c4, I like to strike with f5 to go for the outside of it, but also to kind of get rid of this central pawn, right? This might seem a little bit scary, but once you get rid of that e4 pawn, that's just not that intimidating, a pawn on d4 and c4, right? So here I play the move of f5, and here you can argue that white should play a move like d5 or castle or something like that. Here we see the move of knight h4. Okay, and this is really where the chess opening trick comes in. If you're playing against a three-pawn center, you move your flank pawn and you see a move like a knight to the edge, right? What is white trying to do here? Well, white is trying to kind of put pressure on our g and f pawns, right? White here sees that they have bishops and queens kind of aimed towards the king side. They're trying to get their knight involved as well. And here's black. We do have to play with some accuracy. I thought about this move of g5 for a little bit, but I was pretty worried about e takes f5. By the way, if knight f3, we're totally fine because we have f4 ready to go. The second that you take, we're just going up, a piece for two pawns, and black here with a very clear edge. However, the issue after g5 is that e takes f5 could happen, and when I take the knight, we have pawn takes on e6 and d5. I was not super fond of this position. It just did not seem comfortable at all. Yeah, my king's not castled yet. Bishop's looking at g6. We have, pieces doubling up on h6. And we're up a pawn, but that pawn's on h4, which is, I'm sorry. It's just a weak pawn. So I was not a huge fan of that. So instead of playing g5, I play the move of f4. And this is really the trick, right? In the hippo, when you have a battery and you see that knight come to h4, play f4, right? First off, unlike before, white is not breaking open this center, right? These pawns are pretty well equalized. Okay, white's not taking stuff off, going crazy. We're simply about to take this bishop if you don't take. And when you do take, you just walked yourself into a fork, right? So we're attacking that knight and the bishop. Here, my guy James, played this move of queen e2. By the way, bishop takes g5 does not work against the hippo setup. White here for a second. They've evened out the material, getting 3 pawns for a piece, but we then play bishop f6. There is no check that white has that doesn't lose the queen on the spot. And when the queen runs, we win that piece. Again, black here is crushing it. So after g5, here white, I guess you could take the first time, but yeah, it's just, again, you can't take back with the queen because we'd simply win that knight on h4. So here we see white trying to mix things up with queen e2. I ended up taking on f4 in this case. I think really a big reason for this is because I knew that my pawn on h4 was going to be very weak, and white could just kind of pick it off whenever they want. If I take on f4, it's going to be a little bit harder for white, right, to win this pawn. They're going to have to earn it a little bit more. And on top of that, when white checks and I play king f8, this knight g6 check move is very well covered by my knight on e7. This knight is simply neutralized. So I felt very comfortable in a situation like this. James here continues to push in the center with e5 and d5. I just continue taking pawns. One of my favorite defensive techniques is just to go at material. Okay, and obviously you don't want to do that all the time. If Eric Rosen offers you a queen, don't take it. But really at the end of the day, if you're playing defensive chess and it's even material, you got to hold on and you can't give nothing up or you're going to lose in the endgame. But if you're up material, you can give some back and you're going to be fine. Or you could just survive and you're simply winning. So being up material and playing defensively, it might seem like a lot of pressure, but think about the pressure for the opponent as well, right? If you're attacking and you're down 4 points, you're down a piece, you're down a rook, you feel the pressure to checkmate, or else you're just simply lost, right? So both sides feel the pressure a little bit. And in all honesty, I kind of like playing defensively at material as opposed to playing crazy attacking while being down, unless, of course, I see some kind of tactic. Here, white takes on d5, and it turns out I could have played this move knight f6. I thought about this a little bit, just kind of kicking this queen. Of course, white here doesn't just have to run away somewhere. White could actually take on e5, and after knight f takes d5, turns out that black is actually doing great here. But why would I complicate things, right? That's my approach. I'm a person, I'm a human being, I make mistakes, right, in life and in chess. Why would I make this game crazy? Why would I let white, make this a sharp game in which both sides are standing on thin ice? Instead, I just play the move queen e8, right? It might not be quite as accurate. The computer might not like it quite as much, but it's safe. It's quiet, right? It attacks the queen. If you run away, you're starting to lose your attacking power, right? Here, if you play a move like bishop g6, which is what happened, we just take, right? And by the way, in the game, queen f5 check was played. White here could have taken with check, but then I just play king g8, right? And you can't take the rook because I simply win your queen. So this knight is pinned, and the second that you move your queen somewhere, I move my rook. I'm totally safe. In the game, we have the move of queen f5, and it actually kind of transposes. We have king g8. For whatever reason here, I was thinking about queen f7, right, which would let white trade down queens, and then win the exchange. I'd still be up 1 point in material. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, why would I give up the exchange? I'm up 3 points. Why would I make this a close endgame? I'm just going to play rook h7, and I'm totally fine here. Knight b5 was played, attacking that pawn on c7. I continue with knight f8. Really looking to just double up on that knight. And the second that this knight takes, I take back with my bishop. Notice that this rook has now come into the defense. And on top of that, we're attacking both the knight and the pawn on d5. White here is overextended. I play rook g7, white castles. White's trying to make this game crazy. I just play bishop d6. Again, when you're up material, right? When you're up material, keep things calm. You don't want things complicated. You don't want things going everywhere. Just take a breath and make things as kind of neutral and peaceful as possible. Because think about it. If you walk by a board and someone's down a piece, but the game is crazy, you don't know who's going to win. You don't know, right? The game is crazy. If you walk by a board and the game is very calm and someone's just up a piece, it's like, okay, they're going to win, right? Unless they make some kind of a mistake. So again, I'm just trying to keep this game calm. Here I offer a trade, right? When you're up material, trade down. I play bishop e7. My whole idea here is to take away the h4 square so I could start to look at this bishop c8 idea. Notice that the queen at the moment has nowhere to go. We see the move g4. I use the rule en passant. Play g2, kick that rook around, bishop c8, bishop g5 with check. And here I play bishop f4, just attacking the queen. Again, if you want to take, that's totally fine. We're going to be up 4 points in the endgame. Queen h4 is played. I play bishop f5, putting some pressure on that knight. Here, white defends that minor piece, and I play queen g5. Notice that this knight cannot take my queen because it is pinned. And again, I'm totally cool with the queen trade. Of course, here white plays queen f2, and I take on e4. And I think right around here is where white threw in the towel. I mean, it's just game over. Because the second that you take with the pawn or the rook, I'm just going to take on h2, and I'm going to go up even more material. That's just it. But all that to say, the main point of this video, to show you this idea, right? When you're playing against the 3-pawn center and you strike the outside of it / the center of it, and you have your opponent play a move like knight h4, don't play g5, right? Don't play g5 and let your opponent just start taking pawns like crazy and get a position like this where you have a king on e8, a queen that can't move to the 7th rank, right? Just play f4. Right, this bishop has nowhere to go but to take, and the second that it does, you play g5, and the hippo is well set up so that you can either win that piece, or if they end up taking on g5, you can play bishop f6. The knight and the rook very well cover the short side check, and the next move you're simply going to pick off a piece. Thanks for watching today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything that we're going to be dropping soon. On top of that, I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for the month of July in 2023. For those of you that have not joined or looked at the Patreon yet, we have some added benefits, including exclusive patron PGNs to every single new Chess Giant video that comes out. And on top of that, a once-a-month session, in which case I go over patrons' games. I'll see you all in the next one.